Southern 7 Health Department and Head Start, making a difference in your community, one family at a time.
Welcome back to the Southern 7 podcast. Joining me in studio today, we have two wonderful ladies here at Southern 7 Head Start. We have Cindy Rice. She is the Assistant Site Supervisor and Parent Coordinator with Head Start. And Sharity Gaddis. She is the Enrollment Specialist, also here at Head Start. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with me today. I appreciate it.
Hi, Shawnna.
We have been wanting to do this for a while, but folks, Head Start is a busy place, and there's always something going on. There's always enrollment going on.
Yes,
so, ladies, thank you so much for your time and coming in and talking with us today. We're just going to cover just some of the basics of Head Start for our listeners, just so they know how to get their kiddos enrolled and some of the services that they provide. And so we're just going to keep this kind of short and sweet and to the point for everybody. First off, let's talk about Head Start. We have Head Start, we have Early Head Start. For those who don't know, tell us a little bit about those. What is the difference in each of those programs?
Okay, so Early Head Start is funded for basically children who are birth to 3 years old. It's basically mostly in the same building as our Head Start program. They get the same services, they get full day services. Our Early Head Start program is a year-round program. And also, if you do enroll in Early Head Start, you have an option of center-based Head Start, or you have an option of home-based services. The home-based services is where our Early Head Start teacher will come into your classroom and do activities with the children and the families, and then they have socialization at least twice a month. They are also included in like any of the field trips that the program goes on, so it's kind of like we're bringing Early Head Start to you to your home. The center-based program is basically the same thing. They do developmental activities, they get you ready, and then the Head Start program is funded for ages 3 to 5. Same thing, basically the only thing difference is that it's not a year-round program. They generally get out maybe in usually April, but they're funded by two different fundings. Usually when you're in Early Head Start and you're turning 3, we usually do a new application for you to enter our Head Start program.
So kids can be in it from, like you say, right from the beginning, birth, all the way up to getting ready for kindergarten.
Yes, they can even be in the home-based program, and then like while they're in home-based, they can decide, oh, well, maybe I want my child to interact with more children and go to the center for the social skills. And if we do have a spot at the center, they can always transition from the home base into the center. And the same thing, like when they're in the Early Head Start program, and if they're home base, if they're turning 3, and they decide, oh, sure, I want them to go to Head Start, we can also make that transition as well.
Okay, very good. Now,
I just want to include that with when she spoke about teachers, we our sites and our classrooms are all with qualified teachers who have degrees in early childhood, and they do have the expertise to help the children be prepared for kindergarten.
Okay, great. Now, Southern 7 is a big region. We have 7 counties that we cover. Does each county have its own Head Start? How many locations are we looking at?
We have 10 locations, and just to go through them, I can let you know that there is one in Cairo, and that location does have an Early Head Start 0 to 3 and a Head Start for 3 to 5. And then there is the Cobden Head Start, which is located in the school of Cobden, and we only have a Head Start program for 3 to 5-year-olds there. There is the Dongola Head Start, which is also located in the Dongola school, and it is only for 3 to 5-year-olds. And then after that we have Egyptian, which is located in Tams at the Egyptian public school, but in that one we do have Early Head Start and Head Start. So the parents have options of putting their babies in or their Head Start child. Then we have Hardin County, which is Head Start in the public school. So we really collaborate a lot with the schools, and we join them with their schedule. And with Hardin County, they have a classroom that is for 3 to 5-year-olds. We have Jonesboro, who is also located in the public school, and they have 2 classrooms there for 3 to 5-year-olds. Metropolis, they are a standalone site, which they have early Head Start and Head Start. Mounds, which Cindy is located at, they have early Head Start and Head Start. And then a couple more. We are soon to open a Pope County Head Start, which will have children, early Head Start, and that'll be for 0 to 3. And that should be opening within the month. So there are staff in the area that's doing applications, trying to get the children ready to enter that. And then finally, our last site is located in Vienna, and they have a early Head Start and a Head Start. So there are many opportunities for families to, if they want to go to, if they work in Caro and they live in Pope, they can go to the Caro Head Start. You know, so it's within our 7 counties, and that way we can serve more and be of more help.
So you don't have to live in the county that your child is going to Head Start in?
No,
That's correct.
That is correct.
You only have to live in one of our southern 7 counties that we serve. That's one of our criteria selections,
Okay.
besides several other things. But that's another most amazing thing about Head Start when you're comparing it to pre-K or the public school system, because when you're in there, you have to be living in the school district that you're sending your child to school in, whereas Head Start, I mean, you know, like Sharity said, as long as you live in one of the southern 7 counties that we serve, your child can attend. We also have it to, like, for instance, if your child is going to Mounds Head Start and you decide, oh, well, I'm working in Vienna and Vienna Head Start has an opening, we can do easy as a transfer, you know, from your child from Mounds Head Start to Vienna Head Start with ease if they have a spot.
Well, that's
So
wonderful.
that
Yeah.
helps the parents a lot too.
Yeah, especially if a family relocates or if a job
Yes.
relocates for them, that
Yes.
does make life a whole lot easier.
Yes, it
Yes.
does. Yes, it does.
Very good. Let's talk a little bit about the benefits and how it came about that Head Start falls under the umbrella of Southern 7 Health Department. We're one of only maybe 2 other Head Starts in the country, I think,
Exactly.
that it
Have
falls
that,
under the Health
yes.
Department.
Yep.
You know, as we start talking about services, before we talk about that, how does that benefit the families for that to be in place?
Sure. The health department has been our umbrella for several years.
Yeah.
And we have access to them as far as they can provide medical services for the children, and they provide WIC. So we work with them, and we also, as when we're doing enrollment, if we notice a family needs a little extra help, it's very easily to give their information, because we have a consent that's signed for exchange of information, and if the health department is able to serve that family in other services, then it's easily connected.
And that's part of your intake when you're talking with those families. Are you enrolled in WIC, or are
Yes.
there any other services that you need?
And we can make referrals for them. And the health department allows us to serve the families that, you know, are most needy in the area, you know, because it's just a draw of services. So it's very, very good department, and the health department and Head Start are going to work together. There's health departments at most of the counties as well, connected with the Head Start program.
Okay. Yeah, with there being one in each county, it's not far for people to have to
Yes.
travel to get those services.
Yes.
So let's talk about the services of Head Start.
Okay.
Okay, what are the benefits of being enrolled, having your child in Head Start?
The benefits that I see are the most important is the child that is attending. We watch that individual child, you know, and we learn from that individual child. Excuse me. And that if there's a need there for that individual child, we as the qualified teachers, we have mental health consultants, we have a special needs consultant, special needs specialist. I mean, there's so many expertise within our counties and within our Head Start program that if there's an individual child that needs help, it will get noticed. And go ahead, Cindy, you had something you wanted to say.
Yeah, I always term it this way. I always term as, past studies have shown that between the ages of 0 through 5, those are the most crucial years in a child development, because that sets, I call it as, it sets the foundation for future learning, for the kids to get in the routine. The way I explain it to the parents is like, between ages 0 through 5, children are like sponges. They're absorbing everything they see, everything they hear, everything they interact with us. So by enrolling your child in an early Head Start program or a Head Start program, the families are working with the qualified teaching staff to ensure that the child has, the services, the availability to what they need to set the foundation for their development in kindergarten and further. Another thing that I really, really like about Head Start, which drew me to want to work for Head Start and also to enroll my son before I started Head Start, was because they're family oriented. We teach and we work with the family. The staff works with the family in order to meet the needs not only of the child, to help meet the family needs, but we also involve the family in their child's development, in their learning. We we have family fun nights. We allow, when COVID breaks change, we allow families to come in and to interact and to volunteer, so the families can see the teaching staff and what we do with their child and carry on that at home. The teaching staff sends home time activities home with the children to bridge the gap, to bridge the school learning to the home learning, which that's really amazing. And my mind just would blank what else I was going to tell you. There's just so much that we actually do in the center, not only for the child, but for the families. We do...
Let me talk a little bit about central office up here.
Yes.
I mentioned earlier about our specialists that we have in the office. So there are specialists who work with nutrition. We work with the child's, like I said earlier, the special needs, and we work with the health. We do a lot of screenings for health. If we notice that there is a dental problem, we provide the dental safari.
Yes, that's another thing.
Yes, and all these services are free, and that is a benefit, I think, to our communities nowadays.
Yeah, it's hard, concerning where our areas in, and a lot of areas where Head Start program, it is hard for the families. So by them being in Head Start, we offer those free services. Mm-hmm. We offer the dental safari comes to the site. They do dentals and they do cleanings on all the children. That's free. And by doing that, they may catch something that we can work with the families in providing dental care. They do free hearing and vision screenings. We do a lot of free stuff. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, it's hard to go through it in this short amount of time. We do offer breakfast, lunch, and snack. We offer family-style meals, which means, through doing that, the children are actually sitting at the table. They're serving their food. They're having a conversation. So, I mean, that's another amazing thing. And, by someone just looking in, they're like, oh, they're eating lunch. No, they're not eating lunch. They're learning social skills. They're learning hand-eye coordination. They're learning, how to interact with others. And that's another thing about our program.
So we needed to really talk about how families are eligible.
Yes, we do. We talked about all these amazing things that, Head Start, early Head Start does. And the most important thing is, how do you go about enrolling your child in our program? Mm-hmm. Yes, or even working for us. Yes.
Our website is located on, I'm not sure what the website is.
Southern7.org.
Yes.
Southern7.org.
I just got it.
The number 7, not the word, the number 7.
Sorry. And so on that website, you can find a little link that will lead you to any of the Head Start sites, and you can check out the services provided. And there also is a interest page where you can fill out your name and your address and your child's name and birth date, and that comes directly to me, and I will review it and send it out to the Head Start Center that is closest to their residence. And to be eligible, we do require that the child has a birth verification of some sort, and then the income that will be provided, we'd go off the income of poverty guidelines the government has set, and if you're qualified, you are most likely to be on SNAP, TANF, SSI, all the public assistance that is available in the counties. Those do require proof of, but those do make you eligible.
And I'm glad you guys brought that up, because that is one of the things I get asked a lot. What are the qualifications? The other thing I get asked is, can I enroll my child at any time? Is it
Yes.
based on the school year? What are we looking at?
No, you can do an intake application anytime that you would like to do one. We accept children all throughout the school year. And that's another thing about us. Our school year is continuous. And speaking about where Sharity was mentioning the income, we are eligible to take families who are over the income guidelines. The whole agency as a whole can take up to 10% of our enrollment of families who are over income if there is no one on our wait list who meets the eligibility guidelines. So a lot of families think, oh, well, we make too much. Well, you can still do an intake application with us, and if we have, no one who falls in the income guidelines, if you happen to be over, your child will go on the wait list until, we fall in that 10%.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, ladies, you've answered every question I had, and I didn't have to ask them. I like that. You were on it. Is there anything else you'd like to share today about Head Start?
Head Start's a wonderful program, and we provide services that they're going to meet everybody's needs. And we also have classrooms that are with qualified teachers, and the hours do match most working schedules, and we try to include the family in most everything. And if we cannot serve you, we like to link them up to pre-K, so that pre-K might be able to also take that family in as one of their students.
Yeah, it's nice to see that collaboration that you have with pre-K to help those kids, and because you work so closely with the schools, that kindergarten readiness comes into play.
Yes, ma'am.
You already know what those schools are needing, what the state's needing, what DCFS is requiring.
Yeah.
So that makes
yeah.
it a good transition.
When you're in the school program, there's, like you were saying, getting ready for kindergarten, there are teachers that'll come into the classroom and talk to the children and the families regarding the what's needed for the kindergarten. But it's just a great program, and I think if you're not enrolled and you have questions, please contact us. You can contact Cindy at Mounds. You can contact me at Central Office. The information's all on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, I do have one more question. Cindy, you got to talking a little bit earlier about families.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about some of the benefits to the families with their child being enrolled. You touched on it briefly.
There's so many. Yeah, that's where the parent coordinator part of my job comes in, and that's the one I enjoy. I enjoy the most of working with the children, but also seeing the whole family grows. And I tell everyone, once their child's been accepted in our program, it's not welcome to Mounds Head Start. It's welcome to our Head Start family. I used to tell people, they used to ask, how many kids do you have? And I used to tell them, oh, I've got 44 children. And they look at me, and I was like, no, I have, 43 at my Head Start job, which are my Head Start children, and I have one of my own. But another thing, we work with the families. We do a family assessment, and we help the family set a family goal, and we provide the resources for the families to meet their family goal. If the family is looking for a dentist, a doctor, they need a birth certificate. If they think their child has maybe some developmental delays, or they just want to get them screened, we help them in filling out the paperwork for them to get screened through Child and Family Connections. If you're in early Head Start, if you're in regular Head Start, it's through the public school system that we fill out the paper. And another thing that I really like about Head Start, we're family oriented. We have parent group meetings once a month or twice a month. It depends on what your site chooses. And that allows the parents to come together, to interact, to bond with each other. We give them an education topic each meeting. The parents kind of provide input on things they maybe want to do at the center, activities. We allow our parents to sit on policy council. We have one parent from each of the Head Start sites who sits on Policy Council. Policy Council is the one that sets our guidelines. They work on hirings, they work on policies, they allow to do that. That's another thing I really like. And also through Policy Council or through anything, we do allow some of our parents, once they go through interview training, they're allowed to sit in on interviews with new staff, with possibility to new staff. We allow the parents to come into the site to interact, to volunteer, as long as they follow our Head Start volunteer guideline policy and they meet the health requirements.
Okay, good.
That was a lot, but there's so much that we do. And like I said earlier, that's what drew me to wanting to work with Head Start. I liked how it was family oriented. That's
And Cindy, we have parents now.
We
that
have parents
used to be
that- yes.
children, and,
Yes.
and we also have
we
staff.
do. I actually
Staff
yes.
now that are
I have been there so long. It's like I had one that I had the mom when I first started working for Head Start, and I had the dad when I was before I started working for Head Start. And now their daughter is going to our program. That really shows age, but that really shows like how our program is, that, you know, that they remember it. And we have parents coming in who used to go to our site, and they're like, we remember this, and this was our classroom. And one parent even came in, she's like, this building smells the same as when I came here. I was like, what? The building smells? Does it stink? She's like, no, it's a good smell. And it's like, oh, okay. But, you know, just to say what you said, working, my son was one of the first groups of children who went through the early Head Start program at Carroll. And that's even before I was working for Head Start. So, I mean, that shows. And also to touch on you about, you know, we have parents who used to be parents who are now working for the agency. Southern 7 is hiring. If you go on our webpage, you can see all the jobs that we have available, and all the qualifications as well.
Yes, definitely. Yes,
Definitely, we would love to have you all, you know, as part of our Head Start family.
Okay.
It's an amazing family to be a part of.
Yes, it is. And like I say, you visit each of the sites. It's kind of like going home for a day. I love going in and seeing the kids. And you mentioned the smells. It's always so clean. I just love going in.
Or the smell of lunch. Some of the kids, like, that's what some of our kids say when they leave us and go. They're like, you had good food here.
Aww.
And I mean, that's what you smell, or you come in and you hear the laughter, you hear the kids playing. And not only do we work with the family, we also work with the community. We also do community outreach. The WOW van does community outreach through the health department side, but we also do Head Start. We also go to like events.
I wanted to mention a couple things here from the Head Start families. It's some quotes that they included.
Yes.
Oh, yes, please do.
Yes.
And some of them are just, you know, they're heartwarming. We have parents are included as part of the team. My child's always safe. My child was shy but has come out of her shell since starting school. I love that one. There's caring teachers. They treat all the children like they're special, and we offer services, and it's a very supportive atmosphere.
Definitely so.
You know, hearing parents testify like that, it can help us also, encourages
Yes, it
us to do
does.
a better job.
Well, you know, as a mom, and we can all relate to this, when your children are little, and even as a first-time mom, you're going through it too.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that you have a place that you can take your child that not only is concerned about their development, but how I'm doing as a mom today.
Yes.
You know, I know you get those moms and dads, grandparents that come in, and you can just tell they're stressed, they're exhausted. And I've been down in, you know, to Cindy's site in Mounds and seen parents coming in, and there's always, how are you today? Is there anything that you need? And you want to come and chat? There's always that.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you're just dropping off your kids at daycare,
right.
which it's not.
Yes.
You know, you don't feel like that. You feel like they're also concerned about me too. And as a young parent, a new parent, that's so important.
And we have a curriculum that we follow that includes parents. It's like you
Our
mentioned, it's
parenting
not just
curriculum.
daycare, but we are an education service.
Yeah, it's not daycare.
No, it's not.
It's there's more to it than just, you know, the child is learning through play.
Very much so. Well, ladies, thank you so much for chatting with me today. We could go on about Head Start for hours.
All day, probably.
And I'm hoping that we can bring some of these other folks in and chat with them, and I'd love to have you both back as
It'd
well.
be
as
nice to
things
have a
change.
parent.
Yeah, have a parent come in
Yes.
and talk about their Head Start experience,
Yeah,
because
that's
you
great.
hear them. And I mean, the joy of, and I tell everybody I have like one of the best jobs. I mean, that's what I tell them. That's my opinion, and I still hold to it. It's like, where else can you go to a job and you can, oh Lord, they're going to think this is all I do all day, that you can go and you can play with Play-Doh and you can color with markers and you can be silly and dance around and get paid for it, but you enjoy doing it.
Yes.
But that's not all I do. I also do more stuff with the parents and other stuff. But I mean, that is amazing. And the joy is, I mean, the joy of my job is seeing that the children grow and the families grow and the children, you know, accomplish a new task. Like, you know, we have early Head Start kids, and it's the joy of seeing the baby come in, and the parent is bringing the baby in the car seat, and couple of weeks that baby is crawling, and you see the baby going from crawling to walking, and you know, you see those little scribbles start turning to letters and words, and then you get the parent aspect. You know, you see the family grow. You know, like we have parents who are in college, and you get to share their joy in them. They come in and it's like, you know, how's college class? Oh, I made an A. Oh, great. You know, you share their joys and you share their sorrows, and that's what I really like. It's the bond that you form with
you
your
can
family.
just see her excitement.
It's all the Play-Doh. It's the perfect Play-Doh.
Nothing is like getting a brand new can of Play-Doh and opening it and smelling it. But you compare that to your families too. It's like getting a new family and getting to know them and seeing them do new things. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
And with Cindy's attitude, there's going to be some happy families.
Oh yeah. I think we're always smiling down there.
I hope, yes. And that's why it's so hard. You know, usually on the last day of school when I get upset, and it's because I have to go, you know, some summer without seeing the kids, but it's also, you rejoice in the milestones that, you know, the children have reached, the 5-year-olds here going to kindergarten. But you're sad because they're growing up. They're like, they're your children, they're your family, and they're leaving you, and you don't see them. But I do see them. I have some that graduated high school last year that I had when I first started teaching, and they still call me Miss Cindy, and I still give the hugs, and I still know what they're doing, and the family still reaches out.
So I would say,
so once you leave
wants to know any more about Head Start,
call me at Mounds. Please call me. I will tell you. Yeah, not just about Mounds. Call any Head Start site. I mean, any staff who works at any Head Start site has the joy that I have. Yes, we're always willing to work with you. And if we can't provide the services that you need, we will find it. Might take a while, but we will find it.
We'll figure it out.
Yes, we will.
Well, ladies, thank you so much again. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me today.
Yes.
And let's do this again. Let's definitely bring in a parent or two.
Yes.
Or grandparent or two.
Yes.
And let's get them in here so people can see a little bit more
Yeah.
Head Start, because it's more than just 20 minutes, you know, on a podcast.
Yes,
Sure.
it is.
So,
It's ongoing.
It's
That's what I
ongoing.
said. Like I said, once you leave our Head Start program, you're still part of our family. So it's ongoing.
Well,
Yes.
thank you again, ladies. Appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
by, and hope you all have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Shawnna.